Welcome, guys. Okay, so we're talking about in the last tutorial about function, and after the function we talk about statements. So statement also always end with semicolon. When the statement you finish, you end it with semicolon, just like period in English language. So um, notice that you may have noticed that not all the line of this program perform action when the code is executed. So all this I explained in the last tutorial. You need to get them. And C++ is a program that its structure is also different. It doesn't have any space error or other stuff like that. We could also write this main function like this, like this, like this, like this. As far this, as far that the semicolon is here to say, okay, this one of my statement, and all this also is a new statement. So there'll be no error, and so on and so on. So don't ever forget to put your semicolon over there. Like if I remove the semicolon and compile this now, it will say expected, and see error expected semicolon before return. So there will be a semicolon here. And now let's add an additional statement to our first program. Let's add an additional statement to our first program. std card std card. I'm gonna say a C++ program. Okay. Sorry. End line. Okay. Made a mistake. Forget to keep yeah. See. Okay. Made a little mistake here. A C++. You need to put your this sign and say a C++ program and std end line. Okay, so now if we run this program, it's going to print two sentences saying, hello James, how are you? I'm a C++ program. So in this case, the program performs two insertion into std count in two different statements. Once again, the separation is in different line of code. Simply gives greater readability to the program. Since main could have been perfectly valid defined in this way, so we could also define it in this way also. Sorry, and it will run perfectly without no error. The source code could have also been divided into more code lines instead, into more code line if you want. And so actually, but you need to remember your semicolon every time, So let's talk about using namespace std. If you have seen C++ code before, you may have seen count being used instead of std count. Instead of you using std count, both name the same objects. The first one use its unqualified name s count, while the second qualifies its directly within the namespace std. Count which is here, which is cout, not cout is now, we just call it count, cout. std cout. Yeah, cout is part of the standard library, and all the elements in the standard C++ library are declared within what is called a namespace, the namespace std. In order to refer to an element in this std namespace, a program shall either qualify each and every use of elements of the library, as well have done by prefixing cout with std, or introduce visibility or its component. The most typical way to introduce visibility of this component is by means of using declarations. The above declaration allow all elements in the std namespace to be accessed in an undefined manner. So I'm just going to talk about, instead of us writing std every time whenever I want to use C++ standard functions, the easiest way for us to do is just to remove this and define and declare std globally. You understand? So just remove it and say include namespace std. So what this does is that it includes every function in the std namespace into our program, so we can use them instead of us writing every time std prefix every time. So if we run the program, it to work the same way. Okay, and oh, I made a mistake here. Not include, using namespace. Yeah, using namespace std. So now in the next tutorial we are going to do more and more stuff, and typically, so now you know how to write output something to the screen to the user, to the user of your program. You understand what I mean? Like telling the user, James, hello, how are you? I'm a C++ program. So remember, this is just including a header file, and this header file we are saying we want to use, in the header file we want to use the namespace std. Namespace std. This is a line of comments which we are commenting, and these are not part of the program. These are just for labels, or like for to know what's happening. So now this main is just a function that is executing these stuffs here, and these are statements in C++. This is function declaration, and in the next tutorial, see me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. Bye bye.